Hi, gamers. No intro video today, apparently. Hi, Jaden. Thanks, Jaden. I'm alone today. I don't have anybody with me. You know, classic. I'm just here. You know what? It's time for Overwatch. I was expecting the intro video, so I'm a little... Okay, it's fine. Welcome back, gamers, to more EMU Overwatch. We are against Buffalo today? Yes, Buffalo. Buffalo today. I have maybe a pre-stream interview. Rose, our flex support, coming in to save the day, so I'm not just yapping alone. Just you gotta sit closer to me, so you're on stream. I know. My gamer aura keeps women away like that.
Oh,
Rose, welcome,
hello,
welcome to stream.
Hello.
It's been a while since we've had you on stream. I probably last semester. After the season ended.
Mm-hmm.
But how is Overwatch?
It's been Overwatch, honestly.
It's so true.
We have definitely improved a lot as a team as the semester has gone on, which I can say I'm really proud of for us as a team. And like, even though we're going into these matches with a very like broad kind of like gap in our range, we're still putting up a pretty good fight.
Yeah,
which
for sure.
I can definitely say I'm proud of.
Yeah, I don't think it's any secret that we're not the favored team in most of these matches. But honestly, the fact that we have been able to make plays, we have been able to demonstrate how much better we've been doing throughout the games. It's been something that we've been calling out on stream pretty much every time. It's not always about the victory, right? Sometimes it's just about the fact that you went the distance. You know, at the end of Rocky doesn't win, right? But he's still the hero of the movie, right? That's the story we're telling here,
right?
And I know that the whole team has been improving dramatically.
Yeah.
Like it's the first scrims together are very just figuring out the team. You know, it's previous members of JV from last year, but with new faces on the team as well. Completely different coach, very different environment than it was before.
For sure.
It takes a lot to really start like getting up that momentum, and we can see on the stream that you guys are building up the momentum. You're playing well together. You know what you're doing. It's just about that improvement every time, and it's very visible.
Absolutely. I mean, we have definitely been like changing things around. We have new people coming into the team, or you know, we're a whole new roster now from what we were last semester on JV. So coming into the semester, you know, new team, new roster, it's like we're all trying to figure out how we operate together as a group, both in and out of game. And I will definitely say, like, our out of game chemistry has definitely improved a lot. Like, obviously, before going into the semester, we're all new faces to each other. Like, a few of us came up from JV, we already knew each other pretty well. But I will say, like, as I've gotten to learn, like, some of the new faces, like, we've definitely become, like, a closer group, which is really nice to have, especially in game. Because then we know, like, afterwards, if we don't have a good map or someone someone makes a bad play, it's all good. We're all still friends at the end of the day, and it doesn't really matter.
That's honestly a huge part of it. It's really, really difficult to play a competitive game when you don't mesh well with your teammates.
Yeah.
And it takes effort to build that up, and it doesn't all just happen in scrims. It's got to be outside of game and making the effort to be friends with your teammates, so that you can. It's a lot easier to forgive a teammate that's a friend from fat fingering the Reaper ult,
right?
Than it is if there's just some guy. If just Reaper himself fat fingers the ult, but you know if it's Rage, you know he's a chill guy. He's fine. If he gets one, everybody gets one.
At the end of the day, the area was clear. That's all that matters.
Doesn't matter if the area was already clear. It's
extra clear.
It's extra clear now. My favorite character is the Reaper guy, as you know. And I can hear Jaden saying she does not want to hear that he is very powerful. His special move is honestly one of the best in the game.
Oh my god.
And he comes equipped with these 2 revolvers that only take about 3 or 4 shots to actually execute a kill. So it comes really in handy, especially when you come from the side.
Yeah.
But we've been running that Reaper Czar comp. That's kind of our bread and butter. What the rest of the comp is built around. How does it feel playing in that comp?
We've definitely have started to make it work a lot better than we did when we initially got given the comp. We always have Otzel and Rage doing their bubble cycles, and they've been calming that really, really well recently, making sure that Rage can TP in, get those bubbles from Otzel, and just kind of rinsing and repeating that process. We're definitely working on making our bubble cycles a lot quicker, and that right now the name of the game for us is speed.
Yes.
And we've been definitely trying to amp up everything, use our ults as early as often as possible. We are trying to get into the habit of getting quicker with everything. And I feel like our bubble cycles are definitely one of those things that have been improving a lot.
Absolutely. And it's not just the bubble cycles are kind of the very foundation, the core of this team comp. With the Reaper, the Zarya, the mostly Cassidy can kind of flex to other hit scans, and the Kiryu in the backline. But the bubble cycles are very representative of the way that we play. But speeding up everything that the team is doing, quicker, cleaner rotations, just positioning, reacting, and fight planning, all of that stuff gets faster and faster. The higher you play, and it's something that I've called out on stream before as something that we've struggled with a bit.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a fair assessment, and I'm very glad to hear that you guys agree and are working on that.
Yeah.
Because being able to respond or even pre-predict a big ultimate coming or a rotation or anything like that, it's just all about that speed.
Yeah.
Once you guys, because I know pretty much everybody on the team has the game knowledge to be able to more or less know what the proper play is. It's just about being able to make that proper play with the fractions of a second that you get. It's a lot easier to pick apart during VOD and have Suji kind of explain this is why this is correct. I think most of the time that I've seen you guys VOD, you're mostly in the right realm. It's just about, do I need to take 5 minutes to look at all the positioning, look at all of the map, look at the how the ultimates are, or can I do it just like that?
Yeah, and that is something Suji has definitely talked to us about in VODs, is that we get there and then we linger for a really long time and then we go. Yeah. We're trying to cut down that linger time so then we're not getting picked in neutral and then we just have to end up resetting and regrouping as 5 because then we're down 1 and we're spending too much time out in the open or we're getting picked in our neutral like I mentioned. But yeah, we're definitely working on cutting that linger time down so that we're not just always getting picked in neutral and having to reset. Yeah,
that's something that honestly I feel like every iteration of Varsity has had to deal with is, okay, let's make our move, let's take this high ground. And then what usually ends up happening is we just kind of stall there for a bit. We all kind of take that position, and then by the time we're ready to actually reuse that position, the enemy team has properly adapted to it and is able to kind of, they see where we're coming from.
Right.
So cutting down that linger time, as you're saying, and move in kind of one cohesive, take that position and use it all at once rather than take the position, wait around, and then try to use it. It's that will make those rotations a lot more effective. We can play up to the speed of the teams that we are seeing. And I think it's a great thing to be focusing on.
Yeah.
And I know that you've been putting the Kiri and the Baptiste in the lab. What do you prefer? What do you prefer playing right now, Kiri or Bap?
I would honestly say Kiri. That, funny enough, is something Suji's asked me too recently about if I preferred the Kiri or the Bap. I feel like comfortability-wise, I enjoy playing Kiri a lot more, but I think that's just being able to have that extra mobility, with TP and Suzu and being able to get out of those tight scenarios that, I can be put in, especially on flex support. So I've definitely been working on getting those quicker TPs to know the save TP for if I'm getting pressured that I can TP out and definitely it has helped me improve a lot more on my Kiri, being able to like manage my CDs and like being able to like properly manage myself so then I can then help support my team.
Absolutely. It's Kiri's mobility is always one of the most frustrating things about her, because that TP is on a pretty short cooldown. I really enjoy playing BAP because of his damage output, and he's somebody that if I'm kind of relegated to support in a stack, just comp or quick play, I can usually swap to BAP to help kind of make up for damage. If there's like a Reinhardt shield that we got to burst down, I like the BAP, but I also do like the Kiri quite a bit for the same reasons of just being able to care for yourself a lot easier. Baptiste can do it with his 3 health bars, his just normal health bar, his shift, and then his immortality. But a properly coordinated dive doesn't really matter that much.
Yeah.
Like you can get burned through those so quickly. But being able to TP and Suzu definitely is a lot more comfortable. You can be a little more flexible with your positioning, and it's a little harder to punish you.
Yeah.
But it sounds like we are going to have to send Rose back to actually, play the video game.
Yeah, to play the video game.
So thank you for joining us and not making me yap completely by myself. We'll see if any other familiar faces show up at some point. Maybe they're in their car right now. We'll see.
We'll see.
But thank you and good luck in the game.
Thank you.
Make sure
Goodbye, chat.
Yeah, give you some screen time. On the stream here.
Yeah.
We'll be watching your Kiri. Let us don't miss any Suzus.
Oh,
get
yeah.
Get
I'll
some
try
big
not
Suzus.
to.
Get some good Suzus for us so we can glaze you on stream. Hi, chat. Are you ready for Glavon Hour? I'm ready. I'm ready for schedule hour, actually. Let's take a look at our upcoming streams. Of course, you're here for Winston Overwatch. It's October 2nd. I can't believe it. It's Halloween. Yippee! Against Buffalo University. That is this stream right here, right now. Next week, we are against Ohio University in the old Rocket League. Gotta love car soccer. And then again, Miami University in Rocket League. And then right after that stream, we are going to see more Rocket League. There's so much Rocket League. Everybody loves car soccer. And then you will see us again here against Western Michigan. That will be a good game. We will see which directional school can best the other in Overwatch. Some great streams to look forward to. You're here to listen to me yap, listen to me just like talk about Winston. We got some time to kill, chat, as we're waiting for the match to begin. You know what? I think I'll just ask myself some questions here. Like what do I think? What do I think of the current state of the old video game right now? Only a week and a half-ish left in the season, and I believe next season is starting the Halloween event. I love the Halloween event. I've got a preset. You get 3 presets in the hero gallery. You can set up different skins and voice lines and everything. I've got one for Christmas, I've got one for every day, and I've got one for Halloween. It's time. It's time to celebrate Halloween. I've got my family clown set up in my apartment. He's chilling. I should have brought him. My family clown that I can cast alongside. He's terrifying. I really want to go put him like on my brother's window. Just drive like an hour round trip to just bang. But returning to our classic, Junkenstein's Revenge from all the way back. I think that was first Halloween event of Overwatch, honestly, almost 10 years ago. Overwatch came out in 2016, and we're going into 2026 pretty soon here, chat. 2026? What? That's not a real year. It's still 2020. It's still 2019. 2026 isn't real. But we are going to be looking at Lijiang for our first control map. As Ben and I say pretty much every stream, love the control maps, and Lijiang is a classic, of course. I wonder if we'll run our normal team comp with our Reaper Czar, as Rose and I were talking about, or if maybe we pick up some different, like maybe a Winston I think we saw some D.Va last time. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of more mixed up, just more variety in our team comp with, as we're getting towards the end of the season here. We're getting a little more comfortable on other team comps. We get scouted pretty easily with that Reaper Zarya. They do see pretty, I don't think we've had any games where Reaper and Zarya have not both been banned at some point. So having some backups that we can fall back to is nice. Lijiang is definitely a very brawly map. So I'm not going to be too disappointed if we don't see any sort of like Winston's. The Reaper Zar can work out pretty well. You know, give Zarya a Halloween skin. She's got like one Halloween skin. I think it's like the 80s like workout skin. It's like fine. It's like fine, but like, come on, give Ramattra his dance first. We are hearing our bans now, and it looks like we are banning Winston. Suji doesn't want to see any Winston. On Lijiang, a little bit of an interesting ban. I wouldn't normally expect to see a Lijiang or a Winston ban on Lijiang. I would more expect to see maybe, you know, that ball gave us a lot of trouble yesterday. Maybe even like a Tracer ban. You know, Tracer's kind of been all over the place. We probably aren't going to see much Hog played in our elos, but Hog is kind of running the table still. Not as much in coordinated play, but definitely in ladder. And we are going to ban Sim, which much more appropriate ban in a Lijiang competitive environment like this. You know, Lijiang is Symmetra's map, basically. It's all about getting those TPs out of spawn, TPing on night market up to the window. Very common strat that somehow still works a lot of the time, even though everybody knows that you're going to do it. It's a very funny one. Some interesting bans. So we're probably going to see our Reaper and Zarya coming out here. You know, Reaper, honestly, just a very strong pick right now. I'm not surprised that we are building our team comp mostly around Reaper. I mean, the TP speed perk really does a lot for him to be able to just pick a target, go on them. It really does make him quite strong in terms of just being able to flank the backline. It's a lot less predictable when you're not spending 10 seconds crossing your arms and just aura farming in their backline as you TP over there. It's gotten faster and faster over the years to kind of keep up with the speed of the game. Overwatch Classic is out right now. I believe it's still the GOATS meta. And even with the GOATS meta, you can feel the difference in the game speed. I much prefer the current state of the game with one tank and much more speed and mobility. It's a lot more fun, in my opinion. I have been playing a bit with my goat Silver B, love my Silver, my off tank, my forever off tank. Sorry that you had to have a taste of off tank one more time, and then it gets ripped away as soon as Overwatch Classic goes away. But I don't have to keep yapping about nothing anymore. I get to yap about video game. I get to watch the video game with you guys, and I get to yap about it. You know, you might have me muted. That's okay. That's okay. You don't love Glavon. No one loves Glavon. Anyway, Lijiang Tower. Let's take a look at the video game here. We've got Pringle on the hit scan, Rage on the flex DPS, Otzel on the tank, Rose on the flex support, and Nyx on the main support. And it looks like we might see a pretty close team mirror here. At least maybe both teams going for the Reaper Zar. The enemy teams have been running a lot of Wuyong. That character still just simply too much damage. Simply too much damage. Wuyong Brig as the enemy backline, maybe a Juno? Are we getting stream baited? Juno is certainly a character that has fallen out of favor here. Opting not to TP up. We don't have a sim, that's right. Neither team can TP out. So just a classic rollout, taking a look at what the enemy team has, getting those callouts in, getting some poke in. Both teams are just going to have to fight for courtyard here as we try to just take space. Nobody's really going to TP to point. Rotating coast side to be able to get in. The Suzu comes out to save Rage, stabilizing in the backline here. Are we going to be able to take point here first? It does look like we are angling to try to take point, just trying to stabilize. Otzel is going to get booped, and it's going to take them out. And point control is going to go to Buffalo as they slow walk here, clean up our staggers, and we're going to have to reset, look for next fight. We were able to swing to our. I've got a friend here, gamers. I've got a friend that you might recognize his voice.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my God, it's Vinny. Vinny has come to save us from having to listen to me yap straight away. But we are looking at next fight. Rage trying to get an angle on the TP, but not able to find anything. Welcome to stream, Vinny.
Hello.
We are mid-fight, so feel free to hop in here.
And I do see that. And it looks like we are on our standard Zarya Reaper comp here. Looks very similar comp, just a bit of difference in the back line here.
We do have the enemy Grav online here. We do not have our beat for it yet, so it's probably going to big Suzu, but unfortunately Suzu only lasts a couple, about 1 second, and we are just going to get taken out for it, just because that Zarya built it up so quickly.
Yeah, no, that is a quick team fight. That does give us a beat to play with here. Might keep it for the next grab, depending on how fast I think that Zarya is building it, but...
I wouldn't be surprised if we see it come out for that beat instead, or for the Blade instead. We are seeing ultimates starting to come up on the board from both teams here, the High Noon and the Blade. The Wuyong ult coming out of Buffalo, finding Pringle, Otzel getting taken out by the enemy Zarya, Rage getting caught out in the corner with no cooldowns, having to back up. It looks like this might end up being first point for Buffalo. We do have almost four ults coming up on the board.
You can see Nick's going for that touch there. He's getting low, but he's going to be able to find the point, it seems.
As we do have the beat to stabilize on point. The rush comes out of Rage. Pringle going down to the enemy.
Big grab. That lets them flip the point there into their favor.
But we are fighting down one here, as if Buffalo is able to just angle us, we might end up getting picked by this High Noon.
Applying pressure.
And it's going to find Otzel. Unfortunately, the bubble's not able to outlast that High Noon, and it's just going to be a slow cleanup from Buffalo here. We are ticking up, but it's going to flip over to Buffalo, and it looks like that's going to be first point for Buffalo. We just had a little bit of trouble kind of getting the angle, getting out into the space and really having a proper fight. Getting that grab was really big.
It was.
And unfortunately, we didn't have our beat to be able to deal with it. And even if we did, they had their Blade coming up soon after. Not sure what we really would have been able to do if we had beat for the Grav, we get killed by the Blade. If we save it for the Blade, we die to the Grav. Trying to find some other ult that we can use there. Mirroring Grav if we're able to build it fast enough.
You gotta hope that if you do beat for that Grav, that either your team can just look focused on that Genji quick enough, or maybe your Lucio can get a boop after the Genji tries to dash in, keep him away, keep him from getting that dash reset.
We do have the boop, the Suzu, and the grenade from Cassidy to try to be able to deal with a Blade like that. But Rage is looking for an angle on that Wuyong. Unfortunately, that character is very fair and balanced and is able to sustain through Rage's direct shots, and this is going to cause EMU to have to back up here. It looks like both teams are full charge on their Zaryas.
It is tough to have Rage go down there. Wuyang does a lot of damage for a support character. But Otzel being able to get out with that charge will let them take this fight a lot more aggressively, not have to sit there, wait, build up that charge with Rage cheap, teleporting onto the backline looking to get a pick.
And honestly, this is just a difficult backline to go on. I like trying to shut down this Zarya. The enemy Cassidy just getting 2 headshots take out both Otzel and Nyx, and the Genji cleaning up Rage and Rose going down as well. It's a lot of damage coming out of that Zarya. You can see she is beating us on the ult charge here, which means that she's just got a lot of damage coming out of her. And we are going to now be a little bit behind in the charge race here. As we go into the next fight, we might be able to rotate onto point here. Nyx does get found by the enemy Cassidy. Rage getting found as well. Otzel is able to take out the Cassidy, but it's going to trade out the entire rest of our team as well. Unfortunately, just we're not quite putting out the damage that they are. That Cassidy's hitting some headshots.
Yeah, no, and all that damage that we can put out, the Brig Wu Yang backline is able to sustain really well, especially with that empowering wave out of Wu Yang, amplifying the healing from both Brig and Wu Yang. It's hard to take anything down if you don't burst them down quickly.
Absolutely, and those bubbles as well are just going to prevent a lot of burst damage from doing much. The grab does come out from the enemy Zarya, finding only Pringle, but it is able to convert into a kill. Otzel is able to
take
trade
down that
out.
Wu Yang ult.
That is a big cancel. Unfortunately, we are down one. Rage looking to try to get picked, but that Cassidy just hitting every shot. A desperation grab coming out, but it's not going to be enough.
Trying to find what they can. Unfortunately, they can't get anything with it. You're going to have Nyx jump in here, get the touch. Yeah, I'm not sure. They're going to try and get what they can out of it, but I'm not sure that anybody else is going to be able to get back and touch the point here.
And that is going to be map 1 for Buffalo. That's just, we're losing a lot of the sustained fights. It seems like their Zarya may be converting the bubbles into energy a little bit easier. It could be a result of just better bubble timing. Could be our team not having the. I mean, look at that. That is difficult to deal with. That Cassidy just on his own, clicking down pretty much the entire team.
Yeah, just no pressure there, able to be generated by the team onto that Cassidy. Kind of lets him free farm off to the side like that.
And I mean, he was free farming. I mean, he was clicking heads. But anyway, Vinny. I got Vinny. He at the last minute. He was called in like half an hour ago to just come beeline straight here to fill in the caster seat, so you didn't have to listen to my annoying ass voice by itself for an hour. So thank you, Vinny. Yes, thank you, Vinny.
I'm actually here because I heard there was some disrespect being shared on stream yesterday about my main support abilities.
And can I help you?
I disagree.
I
mean, I agree. I think I'm better mechanically.
Okay,
Yeah.
I gave you that. I gave you that. How
4-0,
many times have
4-0.
you said, "Oh, let's see here"?
I don't need to say that. I just.
But it's so funny when he does it.
Look, my alt tracking, I think is pretty on point.
That's true. It's true. As Vinny is a very good alt tracker. I don't know. I gotta organize like a tournament pugs. Lucio scrim. Just Lucio 1v1s. We'll pull in Frogger. He can judge it. which of you is more Frog? But thank you, Vinny, for just at the last minute being like, yeah, I'll drive from all the way from home out here just to cast as my go right there. But we are okay. Lijiang didn't go great. We're not completely folding over. We're able to take those fights. We just end up drawing them out long enough and not really able to convert a lot of not able to generate the pressure that we need to push them back at all. And they do control that off angle with that Cassidy. That means that as soon as we do try to push in like that, we just get angled on. It's easy for them to just stand still, click on our heads. I mean, credit to that Cassidy. He was hitting some good shots. But we got to do something about sending like our Cass and Lucio to go deal with him. Sending our Reaper to TP on that off angle, deal with him with a bubble, and then convert onto trying to knock over that Zarya. But I mean, it can't be overstated that how much damage is coming out of the enemy team just from the casting headshots and that Wu Yang.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's annoying. It's annoying. I've been playing a lot of Mauga lately, who is, He's a big giant wall, very easy to hit with 100 health direct hits. Don't like that character, please. Next patch, just in a week and a half.
Mid season they increased his cooldowns a little bit, but no, didn't touch his damage at all, and
Yeah.
a lot of the community was very confused about why they did that.
Yeah, I've seen people saying that he's overtuned in every aspect of his kit. Some people saying that it's just his damage. I personally think it's really just his damage. I don't think the rest of his kit is too bad.
I think the rest of his kit is good, but it's not like this is not fun to play against good.
Yeah, I've certainly had success with dealing with Wu Yang. It's just about tracking his cooldowns. That wave is pretty annoying, but his just normal healing, very similar to like a Mercy or Zenyatta. The thing that really amplifies it is that his wave is a heal amplification.
Yeah, and that is what is allowing Buffalo to win these sustained team fights. Is their backline can just output more healing over time with that heal amplification from Wu Yang's wave. We have amp that can increase our healing briefly, but doesn't last quite as long as their sustain will.
And when we have our Kiri Lu backline, we can't really do a lot of healing and damage at the same time. I mean, we can amp healing and be dealing Lucio damage, but it's not that much, right? It's certainly not 100 damage, direct splash damage from Wu Yang. The splash damage is what really sells it. So between a Brig and a Wu Yang, that's a lot of just passive healing from the wave and from Inspire, and just a lot of damage coming out.
Yeah.
But we are going to look at our next map, who, I don't think anybody needs to even try to guess. It's King's Row.
Where else would you go?
King's Row. It's always King's Row. It always has been. There is no other second map except for Scrim's Row. We'll see if we have any sort of different team comp. Banning the Ryan and the Lucio this time. Interesting bans coming out of both sides. I don't know if I've ever seen a Lucio ban like that, or even at the elos that we're playing at, a Reinhardt getting banned is certainly interesting. So I'm not entirely sure what they're thinking here, but it looks like probably similar team comps coming out of both teams. Almost the same out of EMU, except, of course, our Lucio is banned, so it looks like Nyx is going to show us what they've got on that wonderfully balanced Wu Yang character, mirroring the enemy Wu Yang's Kiri, Wu, Zarya, starting with a Widow. Probably not going to see that Widow for too long, and Genji.
I imagine that their idea with the Rhine ban is just protecting that Zarya, because if we ban a tank character, enemy team cannot ban a tank character. Let's just keep that Zarya. Otzel's comfort pick. Gives us our best shot about putting up a good fight here.
That would make sense. That's certainly banning a tank does protect our Zarya ban. And I don't know if there's really a better counter to Zarya than Reinhardt. Maybe a Winston, but Ryan is certainly a good ban. Looks like we are going to be taking... Buffalo is going to be taking our angles, finding a headshot on that Widow, from the Widow onto Pringle, is going to put us into a 4v5. We're going to need to just back up, give ticks. Hopefully we can re-swing with Pringle as she gets back.
It's tough. We don't really have anybody who can counter that Widow all too well. Maybe you can get Rage up there on a TP, but unless we have Bubble, a Widow's going to be able to time that, hit that headshot, and just take him out of the fight immediately. Absolutely,
especially at this skill level that we're seeing. That's something that Widows have very well rehearsed. Unfortunately, Rage was traded out, just trying to stabilize in Hotel there. Is going to convert into first point for Buffalo. And it looks like they're just going to clean up some of our staggers here. Rose not able to get out from that Wu Yang. The Genji hitting us with the Payload Princess emote on point as we just wait for EMU to regroup and go into the next fight. Maybe we're going to see this Widow for a little longer than anticipated because they are having success on it.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, there's nobody really able to apply all that much pressure. With Widow finding a nice headshot there onto Otzel, that's going to put us up. It's going to end the fight right before it even starts.
Yeah, unfortunately, they're just putting so much pressure on us, and those Widow sightlines are just something that we really need to be aware of. And even trying to play around them, you can see Nyx trying to dash to get over that sightline as quickly as they can. The Widow just knows what they're doing, able to hit that headshot. Difficult to get out. When there's a good Widow on the enemy team, completely changes how you have to play the game. And we still don't really have much that we can do about that Widow. We don't really have any Genji to send on her. We don't have the Lucio to be able to deal with her. Maybe just poking her out with Wuyong damage, maybe getting some poke from our Cassidy.
I believe the term a lot of people like to use is server admin.
Yeah, that's certainly a server admin right there. And that is going to be second point for
Genji coming in with the
Buffalo.
Wuyang ult, able to knock down Pringle, able to get that pick.
The headshot on Rage's Tracer is going to be unfortunate. That's difficult to hit. And the Genji is just going to try to clean up.
Able to get
find
that pick
Otzel
just before
spawn.
Otzel gets back into that spawn room. That's really tough there.
Yeah, the Widow really just locking everything down. Still largely uncontested. Not really sure what we can do about her with our current team comp. Obviously knows where we are coming from, holding those angles before we're even peeking. Just able to hit some very good shots. It's really just mechanical prowess from this Widow.
Nick's getting real low off of that Venom Mine, able to get back to spawn, heal up.
And
That grab
unfortunately,
onto Otzel.
we are going to pick that enemy Genji. Pringle going on a bit of a tear, taking out both enemy DPS,
Zarya
maybe
gets knocked
stalling
down.
it. Rose able to take out that Zarya aided by that Wuyong ult. We are able to win our fight here, the first fight of the map in our spawn. It's just got to be a 4-minute, absolutely heroic hold. You know what? I trust and believe.
I believe.
It is winnable. It's
There's
always
no
winnable.
doubt in my mind.
As long as we are respecting that Widow, we have to treat her like the server admin that she is, and not letting our heads get taken off. That's unreactable by Otzel Bubble, unreactable by
Widow finding a
Rosa
pick there on
Suzu.
a Pringle.
And unfortunately, it is going to be 2 headshots out of that Widow heading up into the tunnel on the top. Rage getting taken out by the Kiri Kunai as well. And it looks like we're not going to be able to touch here. That Widow, just not much we can do about.
Yeah. You know,
really-
the best you can hope for is maybe switch Pringle over to that Widow, go for the 1v1, hope that maybe she can, go 1-to-1, take out the Widow, alleviate some of that pressure off the team, allow them to push in, but
Yeah, but
short of that, I'm not sure how much you can really do about it.
I'm not sure if character choice would even have really done much for us in that in this kind of position that we're in, because unless you're going characters that Widow can't really headshot, which is basically just the tanks these days, it's really difficult unless you have really, really clean positioning, very, very, very tight control of where that Widow is when she is swinging corners, who she's looking at, what angle it is.
It looks like we've got a bit of a swap up from Buffalo's team comp here, going from that Zarya over to Winston.
Winston. I like the Winston. I do enjoy some good Winston
do
gameplay.
love the Winston character.
You know what I'm noticing out of Buffalo's team comp here is that every single character on their team can control high ground very easily.
Yeah.
We've got Winston jump. We've got 3 wall climbs. Almost all of the wall climbers in the game right now, just missing that hazard. And then Wuyong, I think, can bounce high enough to... He can bounce on it high enough to get onto the high ground. So we'll need to have a lot of a good aggression from Rage here to try to force them off of that high ground. We'll just need to be careful of those headshots from the Hanzo here, as well as the deflect from Genji.
A nice bubble cycle. Let's Rage get in there, get some charge for Otzel.
And that is going to be some good cooldowns out of Buffalo. We might be able to convert this into some space. Rage getting some damage off on that Winston.
If we can keep the pressure up on him.
And Pringle is going to be caught out in spawn, not able to rotate with her team. Nick's getting headshot by that wonderful Widow, Hanzo now headshot. Very cool. But
Rage able to take down that Hanzo.
Rage and Otzel able to isolate that target and get them taken out, but unfortunately trading out 4 for 1 is just not going to be enough. We've got to do something. Trying to go for the TP out, but just not enough when there's a Kiri and a Genji in your face. A lot of damage coming out. I can see it. I can see it. We're getting cooldowns out of them. We're able to take a little bit of space and develop a path through hotel. The problem is that we just are not all taking it. We're not all able to capitalize on it before we end up getting picked in that neutral.
Yeah, and that's the issue with our Lucio being banned is if we had that Lucio, we can get that rotation through hotel, set us up in a very nice position to fight for this first point. But your only other option would be Juno, and she's not super strong in this meta.
Yeah, doesn't fit super well in our team comp. The ults coming out, it looks like it's going to be a Rush and a Dragon out of Buffalo, and they are going to convert this into, it looks like, a team fight win. Nyx getting caught out in the backline and taken down for a little bit of a stagger. Rose also getting found by that Hanzo. We do have a little bit of ult advantage here. They did burn 2 ults for a team fight that they should have only been able to. They should have only used 1 on. So we've got Rush up, we've got Wu Yang ult up. I'm imagining we get the rest of our ults up this team fight and see them come out. That's some big damage on that Genji. The rush coming out of Rose onto the point.
Pushing forward. This Genji's looking behind him, looking to see if he can maybe find a opening to build Blade and use it. Winston going into Primal.
The enemy Wu Yang ult coming out. Winston finding Nyx. Rose also getting traded out. Pringle getting caught out in the backline. And that's just going to be the Monkey Blade in the backline. Just backline racing. Our backline just not able to sustain through all of the damage of a Primal and a Genji following up before our front line is able to trade out their backline.
But you can see, you know, they used 2 more ults in that fight. They used that Primal Rage. They used that Wu Yang bubble. It gives us a very big ult advantage. We've got 4 coming into this fight.
And we are
going to start with that Wu Yang bubble.
The TP into the backline might have been a little too early. Rage does get traded out for it. The Blade comes out, but it's answered by the grab. We do find a kill on that Genji, but we're going to lose Rose, Nyx, and Otzel in the process. But trading out the Hanzo, we do still have 1 fight left. We've got both DPS ults coming up. If we're able to get back fast enough, we might be able to swing this into an advantage.
Yeah, we definitely are back faster, but it's a matter of can we get that pressure going quick enough to swing this fight in our favor.
It looks like we do have switches to touch. We do have the Reaper guy ult. We're going to have to convert this into something quickly. The Kiri is going to go down,
Pringle
trading
able
out
to find
Nyx.
that.
And the Reaper guy, my favorite character, unfortunately inside of that Rush is going to be hard to find. Trading out the enemy Winston.
Just
able to
right
take
left.
out.
Can he find a heroic play in him?
Unfortunately.
He cannot.
And we are going to end up ending the map with our High Noon still in our pocket, not able to find a spot to use it. We had the advantage there. We should have been able to convert something with the ult advantage and just the respawn advantage. But just struggling against that monkey in our backline, not able to properly kite him, put enough damage to make him pop bubble. I mean, just look at this, this Widow.
When a Widow's feeling themselves like that, there's just nothing you can do about it, unfortunately.
There really isn't. And a lot of the time in high elo gameplay, you really do just see it becomes your Widows are playing a different game. You have to mirror the Widow, and it just becomes a classic 1v1 sniper 1v1.
The game comes down to who has the better Widow on their team.
And it's not always the most interesting to watch because it really is just a disproportionate amount of who can flick harder.
Makes a great highlight reel, though.
It does. It makes for great YouTube shorts, but it doesn't make for super entertaining gameplay to watch. You just have both your Sigmas just kind of sitting there shooting each other's shields until somebody's Widow just hits a crazy shot. But we don't, unfortunately, have really a Widow to be able to answer theirs with, which means that they just kind of get to do what they want to for free. And it's difficult to deal with. No Lucio to send after them. Genji may have been able to be a play for us, but just even finding the path to the Widow as Genji can be difficult when she's got the long sightlines of first point King's Row.
Yeah.
Really difficult to deal with. what I'm noticing in some of these streams is that there's just these solo carry characters that we're struggling against. The ball from last night was really difficult. Tracer just able to take down our backline with one clip. Widow just hitting clips on us like this. We don't quite have the experience of playing against all of these different characters, but it's been a different character every time.
Yeah,
we're learning our lesson. We're learning our mistakes, and it's not going to work on us next time. So I'll be interested to see what happens on third map. Third map is going to be one of our escorts. Probably, I think we've seen Rialto every time. Sounds like it's probably going to be Rialto again. Maybe we break out the Winston. Maybe we break out Winston. I'd
love to see Winston.
Winston, I love Winston. Please no more Ball. I don't want to see Ball. Ball get out of my lobby. But you know who else likes Rialto? Widowmaker.
That's where you start to think about the bans. Do you use your ban on that Widow, take the character out of the lobby, but risk, they could take that ban, get rid of Zarya? I know, the first two maps they played some Zarya. They had a very similar comp to ours, but they've shown that they can play other tanks. And, Otzel is able to play some other tanks, but it is very clear that Zarya is a big comfort pick for him.
It's definitely something that we are hard focusing on in scrims, and that's the team comp that we're our bread and butter is. But we do have the ability to flex it around. I know that they've been exploring some other team comps. I know Otzel is very comfortable on Diva and Orisa as well. But I would for like a Rialto. I mean, it's Winston. It's Winston or Sigma every day of the week for me. But I think
Zarya can struggle at the ranges that are on Rialto.
On Rialto, yeah. I think last time we saw a sim to TP our Diva onto high grounds, clear off those high grounds, and the rest of the team can join them. We might see the same thing here for Rialto. It'll depend on what bans we see coming out here. Looks like we are going to be banning the Tracer, which honestly I can get behind. I don't want that character in my lobby. She's just
She's one of those characters who may not always be like the best character in a meta, but she's never going to be a bad pick on a team.
Yeah, very frequently, especially on escort. She's just so good at being able to escort the point while the rest of the team takes angles in space. No other character can really do the same thing except for kind of Diva with the whole fat Tracer theory. But when the idea behind pushing the point, you name the theory after Tracer as Tracer's thing, right?
Yeah.
And they are going to ban Zarya. So no Zarya this time. I'm imagining we probably do see our Diva and our Sim. But let's take a look. Take a look and see what we've got cooking up here. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Winston again out of Buffalo, or it could be any pick here. Could even see the classic cheeky Roadhog coming out for some environmentals on first point here. That's not Ram.
That is Reinhardt.
That's Reinhardt. I know how to play Overwatch. Reinhardt, Widow.
This is something we feared seeing on this map, the Widow. Maybe it was just a one map thing. Maybe they're going to cool off a little bit, but some swaps here looking like Mauga and Torb now.
Getting stream baited. The Mauga, Torb, and the
Hanzo.
And a Hanzo. That's going to be... They're just messing with us. We are starting off on this high ground here. Like I said, the Diva and the Sim, getting some good deep TPs to get our Diva. Pretty much the same theory as the Reaper TPing into the backline with Bubble, except the roles are a little bit reversed, sending our tank in there deep, while our Sim is the one coordinating those angles.
It does look like they finally decided that they were going to roll out on Genji Hanzo along with that Mauga.
The Super Shimada Bros strike again. A Mauga into a Diva definitely can go either way. I've certainly had success on Mauga versus Divas before. Looks like it's going to be
a pick onto that BAP is going to be big to start this fight off.
Absolutely. See those TPs coming out of Rage that Otzel could take advantage of. Able to get a weird angle on the BAP, convert it into a kill pretty easily. As long as we are not stacking too hard on this high ground where we end up getting Genji dashed through or getting taken out by a Hanzo arrow.
Pringle getting caught out by that Genji.
But we are able to force the Genji off of the high ground. Also retreating back up to high ground and TPing out, trying to live. Rose trying to save Otzel, TPs through, but unfortunately does not have the TP back. And we are just going to need to back up here. Otzel opting to go back to spawn. Rage getting found by the Sonic Arrow, unfortunate. And it looks like that's probably going to be first point for Buffalo. We do have some ults starting to come up on the board here. It looks like pretty much just Rush beat
Got
Wall
Simwall coming up, yeah.
and the Dragon. The Dragon out of Buffalo, I'm not too concerned about. Maybe we'll see a cheeky little eat out of Otzel if the Hanzo is not careful. It's a nice deep TP.
Trying to get out some big damage.
Staying a little long in the backline here. We do need to contest that point. Just sacking on this high ground is going to be a little bit dangerous if we're all in it together. And that Mauga is going to make touching the point very dangerous. That Hanzo arrow is going to find Otzel's mech. Otzel is going to try to build up mech. Is it
They're
going
able
to
to keep him up right now.
The blade does come out of enemy Genji as Mauga finds a Rage.
Otzel able to get back in that mech. They're going to use the Wu-Yang ult onto Genji.
But unfortunately, the mech goes out immediately, even through the beat to sustain our baby Diva. And it looks like that's going to be second point for Buffalo as well. We do have some better ults coming on the board here. A little bit of overcommitting from Buffalo on this point here.
We do have 4 coming up, everything but that beat that was just used in response to that blade.
The rush coming out maybe a little bit early, not able to really sustain on the point with it, as we try to just get some damage off on their backline.
Also looking to get that Mauga, not able to quite burst him down. Getting a little low, backing up, receiving some heals.
That Hanzo on an off angle, we should be able to catch him out. Is it going to be enough? The Hanzo does get the immortality. Is Otzel going to be able to convert here? We do get the cooldown out. Now Otzel just needs to reset. The wall comes out to sustain as our Diva is on the flank there. And we are holding the point pretty well here. We just need to be careful about that Mauga cage as it starts to come up on Buffalo's side.
You can see their enemy team's grouping up in that room over there. Mauga stomping in, looking, probably using cage here.
The high noon could be big here. That
immortality field able to sustain that Mauga behind the wall. Otzel throwing in that bomb, looking to get what he can.
Unfortunately not finding any kills with the bomb, only zoning. We do trade out that Mauga. Sim able, Rage on Sim able to trade out as the rest of our team goes down to that cage. And we are just looking at a third point stall here, see what we can do. We've still got the high noon in the bag here. As we're starting to look at Window, Tide, and another Dragon coming up, with honestly a Dragon Blade not too far behind. The Dragon comes out and finds
Able to find Rage.
And unfortunately, Pringle and Rose are also going to go down to that aggression, as Otzel is just trying to do anything that he can to sustain on point and take out that backline.
That window, it's tough to play into. Nick's trying to stall for as long as they can on cart, but just unable to sustain long enough for the team to come back and maybe swing that fight.
When 3 ults come out like that and they're able to find a pick and then following it up with a Wu and a Window, that's hard to play into. We just need to, we've got to make some sort of decision as to who we're going on and who we can really poke out, so that when Rage TPs Otzel in the backline, Otzel is not having to take them down with all their cooldowns, with all of their health, all of their resources, because that TP cooldown is long enough that we can't do the bubble cycles like we normally would.
Right.
because we do want to get out their cooldowns and then get out before we really go for confirming a kill. And it sounds like we are going to be seeing a Doomfist out of Buffalo, who I know is one of EMU's favorite characters to play against. Definitely a very fun character to play into. Seeing some swaps from Buffalo, we'll see what we end up on here. Looks like we're going to be sticking the same team comp for EMU with that Sim, Cass, Diva, Kiri, Lu classic lineup. Maybe if we've got a Zenyatta on the enemy team, always a good target.
Oh, Doom, what are you looking for?
I don't like this Doom's positioning at all because I know that it's probably going to work.
I don't know if the barrier will break initially.
I think we'll get unlucky enough that it does because the Doom just has that aura. See if he is able to punch out. He is able to get Sim. Unfortunately, difficult to call out when we don't know that the Doom is there and waiting for it, or that they're going to have a Doom at all. But that's fine. We are in spawn. We should be able to reset here. I'm imagining some good TPs on that Zen, but
some burst from that soldier, able to take down Rage again.
Unfortunately, if we're going to be just sitting here 4v5, it's very difficult to get out of spawn. And there's some difficult high grounds. You know what? Got mine.
Falls off the map.
You can see
Prod got theirs.
And you know what? We take those. It might help us break out of spawn. Looking for a rotation onto the back line here as a soldier also goes to rotate. The Doom going in deep.
Able to find a pick onto him.
As we trade out
Soldiers did find Nyx.
But you know what? I'll take a Doom for a Lucio. But unfortunately, we are going to get picked by the rest of their DPS. That Soldier and Ash putting in some work, hitting some shots, able to take out Rose and the rest of the team as well.
You know, the trouble is so in my opinion, Zenyatta, a very greedy pick on support.
Absolutely, very greedy. That's kind of his whole thing.
He's not mobile,
and that's a big pick from Otzel onto that Soldier. And the Zenyatta gets booped. Otzel's going crazy with it. As long as we're able to sustain, the Bob is out. Otzel does get demeched, but we are going to try to build up mech. Otzel going for the kill, and it looks like it is going to end up being a team wipe. But we do get a lot of ults out of them. But no, I absolutely agree that Zenyatta is a very greedy pick. If we are able to get pressure on him from our Diva, or even send Nyx to go and assassinate with a boop, very greedy character to be playing into, a lot of damage, but...
it looks like we've got to swap over onto Winston.
Oh, Winston! How's it hanging? Looking for a rotation far coast here. Going into a tiny room with that Doomfist is not great. Unfortunately, Otzel does get booped, forcing the jump and not able to sustain into that Ash. The Doomfist just not letting up on the pressure. I think we've got punched out of boop there, which is crazy to say.
It's not a very easy cooldown
to counter like that. But as long as we're not getting booped and getting our cooldowns forced, we are kind of forcing one angle right now. If we can spread out and take another angle, we might be able to take some pressure off of our Monkey's dive.
The rush out of EMU, looking to relieve some of that pressure.
Rage is able to get a pick on that Ash, and we do force the Transcendence, but we are going to get taken out and picked in this fight. Rage taking out the Soldier as well. They are going to have a longer walk than us. As long as we're able to stack and stabilize in spawn here, we might be able to swing again and get out of spawn. Rage going for the Sombra pick, which is a little bit of a wild card here. It is definitely one of Rage's strongest characters, one of his favorites.
It is definitely a comfort swap, and I can see the vision with Pringle swapping off of that cast onto the Soj. You know, you think you swap to the Sombra, you can hack that Doom, maybe catch him out without his cooldowns.
Absolutely. Otzel is able to get that Zenyatta, and we are able to develop some space here. If our the Sombra versus a Zenyatta and a Doomfist is definitely quite strong.
Well, they are off of the Zenyatta now. They did swap over to Lucia, looking to get back to point, but it looks like Eastern is not going to touch the point.
A little bit of a C9 in the excitement here. Unfortunate as we make swaps and start gaining a little bit of space to just not be able to touch the point here. Play the game, go into that Zenyatta. Definitely just some good shots getting hit. And a lot of damage. I mean, you can see that Otzel's entire health bar is gone before he's able to recover from any sort of stun.
And that is the trouble with playing tank against the Zenyatta. They have made a couple of changes that make it a little bit easier compared to how it was back in Overwatch 1 with Zenyatta not being able to replace that Discord orb immediately after it gets cleared off of a tank, but it is a relatively short cooldown before you can reapply it. And
I think it's something like 7 seconds, which unless you are really playing around that that Discord and taking it and intentionally clearing it to clear that cooldown, or if the Zenyatta is going to wait and apply the Discord until you dive, there's some game play to be had there. Puts out a lot of damage, and just the Zenyatta himself, even without Discord orb, puts out a lot of damage. But getting Doomfist punched and then a Zenyatta in your face just 5-balling you does not feel good. That was map 3 for Buffalo. Unfortunately, it's going to be a loss for EMU on this stream. But let's take a look at our schedule and see when you can next see more Winston gameplay. You gotta get through some car soccer. Gotta get through some car soccer first against Ohio University on the 6th, on the 8th, and then an hour after the poor Rocket League team finishes their game, they've got to play more Rocket League against Ohio and Miami and Akron. And then you get to see more Winston gameplay here against Western Michigan next week on the 9th. And you know what? I trust and believe. The game versus Western, that's the one.
We absolutely get our first win then.
This is the one.
I am giving the Vinny guarantee.
Vinny guarantee right here, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll have a bit of scrim time in between then. You know, this is only our second game with this new roster. You know,
it is.
They are still, getting comfortable playing together. I do think, they'll take some time, look at these matches, see what went wrong, see what they can improve, work on it in scrims. I think they can come back, look a lot stronger against Western.
Absolutely. I know that there's a lot of time being put in by every member of the team to VOD review, to scrim, to just play ranked and just get more time in the game. It's something that they're all working on very hard. And I think that Western will be the one to watch to see EMU eke out their first win. Trust and believe. You had like an 80% prediction rate or something like that, 90% when we were doing coin flips.
I'm crazy on the coin flip.
It's so true. It's every. I think you got like one wrong.
It was 1 or 2 wrong throughout the course of a season.
Yeah, everything that Vinny called for the coin flip for us to choose map for JV last semester, pretty much guaranteed. Vinny, what is it going to be? We get first map pick. It's so easy. It's so easy when you just have the coins. You win. But thank you for joining us for another EMU Overwatch stream. Thank you, Vinny, for coming in literally as the cavalry so that I didn't have to yap by myself for an hour.
As much as I think you can handle it, thank you for having me. I enjoy being here.
More JV guests if the stream ends up having to just be me. See if we can get more people. Maybe I'll just have Rose cast and play at the same time. We'll just put Rose's comms on. Yeah. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. Bye.